Ooh, you. But it's okay. I was expecting you. My secretary gave me this memo, and it specifically says, prep onions first, peel, slice, and... That's the recipe for my dinner tonight. What it actually says is, you have a new script for me, and a bunch of stuff about child labor laws and not making enough money and some other garbage. But anyway, that's not important right now. I'm assuming your script is much more interesting than the words in that memo.
I'm pretty certain it is.
All right. What's it called?
Doom.
Doom. Okay. What's it about?
You know, the video game Doom. It's based off that.
Video game? Ooh, do I look 12? What about this face and this body? Okay. What about this face makes you think I've ever played a video game?
Alright, so Doom is a video game about a space marine on Mars who has to fight a literal army of demons that came from hell to save the universe.
Okay, that sounds pretty intense. So that's what this movie's about?
Oh, no, not at all. Our movie's about the human genome, archaeologists, and seeing how many times they can fool the moviegoer into thinking we're going to have something happen and nothing happens. It's pretty great.
Did, you just have a lobotomy? I don't see any scars, but how the hell does that have anything to do with what you just described to me?
Oh, I see the confusion. I didn't tell you about Doom 3, obviously.
Is that relevant?
Only, of course, obviously, definitely.
And while we're talking about relevancy, what happened to Doom 2? You just right out the window.
Well, Doom 2 is basically just a continuation of the first game. It had a couple extra weapons, a couple of new enemies. That's about it. It doesn't matter. The point is, Doom 3 was actually a reboot of the franchise that was supposed to be more rich storyline driven. It was going to be these super scary environments, and it was going to be a true survival horror experience.
Well, that doesn't sound bad at all.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, what we actually got was a contrived storyline about teleportation, sending people to hell. Basically, dark environments that were so dark that you had to use a flashlight to be able to see stuff, and then for some reason that stopped you from using your guns. And then on top of that, you had to constantly stop every 5 minutes to read these PDA files that literally would only... let you go and be able to see the door codes and the locker codes to be able to get more ammo. If you didn't do that, you actually couldn't get further in the game.
I take it back. That sounds terrible. Mm-hmm. Why would you use that as the basis for your script?
Because it sold 3.5 million copies.
Oh. Continue.
Yep. So we actually are going to start the movie off right. We are going to have a bunch of scientists on Mars getting attacked by a creature.
Nice.
Yep. They're going to be right in the hallway. The creature's going to be picking them off one by one. They're going to be down to 2 scientists, and one of them gets to the door that they're trying to get to first, and of course locks the other guy out, making it so the creature kills him.
Why?
Because he's a dick.
Huh, fair enough.
So the scientist that was in there gets a distress call out just before the creature breaks in and kills him to let people know that the creature has escaped and people are dying. And this is when we're going to introduce the viewer to the Marines.
Marines. Don't you mean marine? Like singular? I mean, from what you said, the game didn't have a bunch of Marines. It had a Marine, as in one. Uno Marino.
Well, Doom 3 actually sort of had more Marines, had more than one, but the main character was the one Marine that we kind of followed, so that doesn't exactly count. But for the movie, what we decided to do was we're going to have multiple Marines, so that way it keeps you guessing as to who the surviving Marine from the game actually is.
I see what you did there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so a little razzle-dazzle, follow the little red ball. Got it. Let's see how this works. Tell me about the Marines.
Well, the first one is Sarge. He's the leader. He's very adamant about following orders and seems to generally care about the men under his charge.
What's the objective?
Code Red. Assess level of threat.
Assess level of threat.
Maintain quarantine at both ARC portals by any means necessary.
Use extreme prejudice.
Extreme prejudice.
Search and destroy. Orders received and understood. Out. Contain and neutralize the threat, protect the civilians, and retrieve UAC property.
Okay, hero, badass, absolutely most likely to survive.
Yep. Second one is going to be Grim. He's more of a tragic character because he's had something terrible happen in his life that actually happened on Mars, so he doesn't really want to go, and he seems to be a little bit unhinged.
Okay, emo, most likely the villain. Check.
Going to Olduvai.
Oliver.
How long's it been?
10 years.
Sure she's even still up there?
I guess you gotta face your demons sometime.
Yep. Next up is going to be Duke. He's going to be the guy that we have in there to be the love interest.
And what else does he do?
That's it. He's pretty much there just to be the love interest.
Oh, Samantha. What's the deal with the sister? What I meant was, is she single?
Secretly, you have a big heart.
And that's not the only secret big thing I got.
Little rusty, huh?
Right now, having sex with me is practically a civic duty.
I need a power bone saw.
Girl, I've been waiting on you my whole life.
Why would you need a love interest in an action film?
Because otherwise our most exciting relationship is between a brother and sister.
Oh, okay, you know what? Let's stick with old Duke or whatever the cat's name is. Yeah, okay. Who's next?
Next up is Portman. He complains.
I don't believe this shit. 6 months without a weekend, the goddamn transporters are 5 minutes late. And that's 5 minutes R&R I ain't never gonna get back.
He likes to strip search women.
Ladies, we're under a level 5 quarantine, so I am just gonna have to strip search you girls.
He likes to drug his fellow soldiers, or sell drugs to his fellow soldiers.
Do you have any?
And he also disobeys orders and creeps you the hell out.
I'm gonna lock myself in a motel room with a bottle of tequila and 3 she-boys.
Sounds like a contender for the guy you can't wait to watch die in the most slow and painful way possible.
Agreed. And then we also got Goat. He is the guy who likes to cut crosses into his arm whenever he swears.
I took his name in vain.
Why, was putting money into a swear jar not hardcore enough for him?
Probably. Then we also got the Kid. He's basically the rookie that's there to constantly mess up.
Okay, so person who should have died in the first 5 minutes of the film yet somehow makes it almost all the way through. Check.
And then we've got 2 guys that we're barely going to see on screen at all whatsoever, but we're going to constantly have the other characters mention their names so that we think they're on screen more often than they actually are.
Max, standby. Destroyer report.
Mac, do you copy?
Destroyer? And all I've got on Destroyer is a wall.
Destroyer! Come in!
Alright, that's great. Enough backstory. Let's get this train rolling. I got dinner at 6 o'clock. What's that?
Alright, so the Marines are actually supposed to be taking leave right now, but the Sarge lets them know that the leave has been canceled because they had this mission where they have to go to Mars. So they go to an underground facility where they have a teleportation device that will send them straight to the Mars facility.
Oh, so this is that teleportation technology that you mentioned from the game. This is where you're going to get it into the movie because that's going to be linked to hell and how the demons come to Mars.
Exactly, except it's not going to be part of the storyline at all.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we decided the whole teleportation is the reason why there's stuff coming from hell thing is just way too complicated. So we decided to go and really simplify the storyline for the movie.
Then how are you going to do the demons of the film?
Well, we're saying there was an ancient alien species that used to live on Mars that had the same 23 chromosomes that we do, but they created a synthetic 24th chromosome that basically made them superhuman. Unfortunately, anyone who was genetically evil also turned into demonic creatures that we're implying led to their supposed total eradication, despite the fact we're implying that they may in fact be our ancestors. The scientists on the Mars base discovered the remains of this civilization and recreated the synthetic 24th chromosome and began experimenting with it by injecting it into a convicted killer killer, because apparently convicted killers are a lot easier to sneak onto a top secret government funded base than random volunteers or homeless people. Killer turns into a demonic creature, of course, and begins to kill or maim the others. Those they maim turns into demonic creatures themselves. The creatures can sense if someone has the evil gene. If they don't have the gene, they don't even attempt to maim them. They just straight up kill them, as they don't want anyone else to become more powerful than they are.
You call that simple?
Well, yeah, anyone who's taken pre-med biology would be able to follow that easily.
My molecular genetics is a little rusty.
The fact that you believe that the type of audience that's going to sit at home and play this type of video game and come and see your film has taken anywhere near steps to take a pre-med biology class tells me so much about you. So much more that I never wanted to know.
Really?
Don't sound so happy about that. It's not a compliment.
Oh.
Yeah. So once they get to the Mars base, well, what happens next?
Well, that's when they meet one of the scientists working there, who turns out to be Grimm's sister. We learn that Grimm's parents died on Mars, and between the two of them, they kind of split. Grimm's sister decided to stay on Mars and follow in the parents' footsteps, where she also became a scientist. But Grimm didn't want anything to do with the planet and to kill his parents, so he comes up with this brilliant plan where he's going to become a Marine so that he never has to set foot on that planet ever again.
Okay, confirmed mommy daddy issues. Emo, most likely the villain. Check, check, and check, go Runisku. Except the job that he now joined to get the hell away from the planet has landed his last fat flat back on said planet.
Yeah, I never said it was a great plan. So, this is when the real action begins to start.
Ah, sweet! It's about time! So they're gonna start hunting down demons and killing things gorily both left and right.
No, of course not. They're going to have exciting music that's going to play when they're doing something pointless, so you think something's going to happen. It's just a jump scare. It's going to be awesome.
Fucking door's been ripped open.
And how long exactly were you planning on doing this before you give the audience a little love with some action?
Only the first hour.
And how long is this film going to be?
About an hour and a half, probably.
So no action for the first 2/3 of this movie?
Well, no, but we're going to have exciting conversation.
Kidneys.
Dogs got kidneys, right? Pigs got kidneys.
You got 24 pairs of chromosomes.
Humans only have 23.
But what does the extra pair do?
Makes her superhuman.
You don't look like a Mac.
Katsuhiko Kumanosuke Takahashi.
So, Mac.
I find that our definitions of the word exciting rarely, if ever, resemble one another.
Well, if it makes you feel better, we're also going to have some adrenaline-fueled running.
I think he's gone.
The running. Does the kid stub his toe?
Well, no.
Does the sister get a paper cut while running?
That'd be dumb.
Does running lead to any action whatsoever?
No, like I just said. They're not
Then it's less adrenaline fueled and more like a little tiny sugar rush. Let's skip ahead to when we start getting some action.
Okay, well, once they realize that the creatures used to be human, and they've turned into that because of the synthetic 24th chromosome, one of the creatures escapes back to Earth, and the Marines have to follow it to stop it.
Okay, by stop it, are we referring to actual gunplay or more exciting conversation?
Oh, no, we're talking about definitely exciting gunplay.
Ugh, my goodness, took long enough. Finally, we get a little bang bang boom boom. What happens next?
Well, then Grimm's sister discovers that the only people turning into the creatures are people with this evil gene that we kind of mentioned earlier. So they go to tell Sarge that they don't have to kill all the people because a lot of people are not going to be turning into the creatures. But Sarge disagrees with them and decides to kill them all anyway.
Do not kill everybody. They're not all infected. Do you copy?
Copy that.
Don't have
orders to kill innocent people. We kill them all. Let God sort them out.
Wait. Sarge is our good guy. Oh, you sick bastard. Emo mommy daddy issues Grimmy boy is the good guy, isn't he?
Yep. So Grim tries to talk Sarge out of killing everybody, but unfortunately he's got a killing boner and really wants to do it. So when the kid comes back and tells him that when he told him to kill a bunch of survivors and he did not do it, the Sarge decides to basically kill him for mutiny.
Go to hell.
Mutinous insurrection.
It's punishable by death.
Wait. Dude, I know a bunch of Marines. Okay, I know 3 Marines. Okay, I know 1 Marine that actually worked on a set one time with us. But listen, Marines are not going to be cool with this.
Oh no, they're not. Trust me. They are totally against him doing this, and there's basically this whole standoff where they're getting ready to shoot each other. What ends up stopping them is the creatures show up and start attacking them.
Oh, there's something behind me, isn't there?
Then they are forced to work together to try to stop the creatures, but they start dying off one by one, including Sarge, who is rather surprised by that.
I'm not supposed to die.
Wait. I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark, close my eyes, and try to pin the tail on the donkey and say that Mr. Grimm is the only one that survives.
Oh no, it's Grimm and his sister survive. But he has been fatally injured and is probably going to die. So she decides to go and inject him with the 24th chromosome on the off chance that it might heal him.
Wait, why the hell does she have that?
Oh yeah, she grabbed it before they left just in case they might need it.
So you're telling me, with a straight face written in the script, that she grabbed it right before they left, just on the off chance that if they were attacked by a bunch of monsters or whatevers and killed down to the very last man, she could potentially save that person with the chromosome on the off chance that the survivor did not carry this evil genome or whatever.
Well, that, or on the off chance that she actually grabbed it so that she could continue to research if they actually escaped like they planned on.
I gotta be honest, I like the off 1 better than the off 3. So I find the second one more plausible. Let's pretend that was the actual reason and she is secretly pissed that she has to give up her super whatever research project to save her brother's life.
Sure, I'll go with that. So then Grimm tries to stop her from injecting the 24th chromosome into him because he knows he's done some bad things in the past and he is afraid he might actually be evil. But she assures him that she knows him and knows that he isn't actually evil.
Are you seriously trying to shoehorn a message into your film that sometimes good people have to do bad things and that doesn't make them a bad person? You're literally saying that sometimes to do good, you have to be the bad guy. Is that really where you're going with this? Seriously.
Less seriously, more half-heartedly.
Whatever. Look, just finish this. I assume Grimm becomes Superman.
Well, not Superman, but superhuman. We can't get the rights to Superman. So, but he does actually start going in, taking names and kicking all sorts of butt, and that's exactly when we give the audience what they really want. We make it just like the video game.
Stop. Hold on. Did you just say give the audience exactly what they wanted?
Yeah.
No, you do not put a scene like that at the end of your film and say it's what the audience wanted. If this is what they wanted it in the first half of the film, or maybe peppered sporadically across the film like a well-seasoned steak. To continue with the food analogies, because it's getting close to lunch, what you gave me and the audience collectively was a big bowl after bowl of boring, bland, flavorless porridge. And once you convinced that we were completely full, you dropped a hot, juicy steak in our laps. You didn't even have the courtesy to put it on a plate, you cheap bastard. You dropped it in my lap. It was sizzling, it was salty, it was delicious, and it was rare. And you told me this is what you asked for. But after all the damn porridge you gave me before, how could I possibly enjoy that steak now? I can't. You have ruined the only part of this meal that I actually wanted before you had to force all that boring, bland crap down my throat at the beginning.
Did you want me to tell you how it?
Yeah. Big climactic scene between climactic scene. Sarge, Grimm, bullets shooting. One of them dies.
Yeah, except that Sarge now
has been bitten, scratched, or whatever it is to turn into one of these creatures.
That's right.
Because look, anything else you could have done there wouldn't have been formulaic enough or made any sense.
But it's not formulaic. In fact, at one point, the guys actually run low on ammunition.
And they throw their guns away and decide to fight mano and mano.
Are you psychic? How did you...
If I was psychic, I would have not taken this meeting when you sat down. Because this is so formulaic. Every action movie does this. You know, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the fight comes to a standstill at some part. Probably during this epic, climax. And everything stops until Grimm finds that one shining object in the corner that gets his attention. And he grabs it and it gets the upper hand.
Not exactly a... object. He actually uses the teleportation device.
Okay, there it is. Yeah. Surprised you didn't have Sarge come back for one more jump scare at the end.
No. Actually, not at all. Instead, we have Grimm throwing a grenade in the teleportation device to make sure he's dead.
Like the kid said, go to hell.
Him and his sister actually leave the base, and we have our nice happy ending. So, what did you think about the story?
Well, it's bland, it's boring, it's formulaic. It's like the worst written porno in the world. They have dialogue for the first 32 minutes before one shirt comes off. I mean, it's absolutely horrible. The only interesting thing in this film is the role reversals of Sarge and Grimm, which oddly enough works and fails at the same time.
I don't get how it works and fails.
It works because the film is so paint by the numbers. Otherwise, that is a legitimate surprise that you actually switch the roles of Grimm and Sarge to hero and villain. But the film is so bland and so boring up to this point that by the time you give us the reveal, you just simply don't care anymore. You could have had Sarge turn into a giant demon tank with guns on the side and firing laser eyeballs. And you wouldn't have cared because we're just too tired. You might have got a raised eyebrow, but that's about it.
So you're passing on the film then?
Oh, hell no. Well, we're making this. Absolutely. See, if this game sells millions of copies like you say it did, the name alone is going to put asses in the theater seats.
You really think you can sell a movie on the name alone?
Of course. What do you think the sequel to Jurassic Park made over $600 million? Because it was a great epic film? No. Mark my words. There will be a franchise in our lifetime that all critics will agree that each film gets worse and worse and worse in the series. And yet somehow it will transform itself and make millions because of the property name alone.
I don't know how to break this to you.
What?
The first porridge you said puddage.
Bland puddage. I did not. Bland puddage.
You did.
I did not.
Okay.
Puddage. I don't want to do that again.